So therefore, this is where we launch. And it is inclusive of, and again, without this, what's the point? A search for the satisfied mind or self. So, is this necessary? And if so, why? Well, it's very simple. Everyone everywhere is ever in search of the satisfied mind. Yet, when you ask anyone if they have found that self, and the vast majority will say no. So the satisfied self does equate to the satisfied mind and vice versa. And so between the two, if that is not recognized or owned or whatever, you are not in possession of it. And again, asking anybody anywhere, you discover that typically everybody will always come up with something that is limiting, something that is troubling, something that is a problem. And so that automatically bespeaks a mind which has issues of some kind, whether they're self-caused or otherwise. So the questions then beg, who and what is that self, and where is it found? And that is understood when you take a step back and see that in the world there are only really two things: you, everyone else, and everything else. And of course, it's like, well, wait a second, that's more than two. Well, not really. Simply put, there are only two things. One is you, the subject. We'll see how that is in just the next slide or so, and objects. So there's the subject, you, and there are objects. How does that work? How does that break down? This is how it breaks down. You equals the subject. Objects equal not you. So you as the subject are never objectified. And that might be a little bit of a head scratcher, but just take a second to think about that. Can you ever objectify yourself? Can you ever, when you think about it, you are ever, put another way, a witness, observer? So the one who is the witness or observer is not really ever put out anywhere else, cannot be seen, because a witness is a witness, which means a witness witnesses everything else, not the very witness themselves. So, and in that respect too, you are ever present. You are always there. It's like that bumper sticker says, wherever you go, there you are, because you are the one who is, in the midst of everything you see, taste, touch, smell, hear, and do, you are forever there. So, and in that being there, it behooves you then again to understand who is the one who is there. And you are consistently observing the objects. So the objects are that out there, you look at them, whether they are people, places, things, or events, you observe them. And you don't change when the objects change. So you observe the objects, and as you observe them, you don't change, thank God, because then you would lose sight of yourself at every turn, because every time you looked at something, you become something else. And of course, that doesn't happen, and it would be impossible to function at all if that did happen. So you are the unchanging subject, witness, observing the objects which are not you, and they never become you, the subject, just as you never become the object. The objects never become you, the subject. Objects come to and go away from you. All day, every day, this is what you are observing. Whether they, again, are people, places, things, events, this is what happens. They are there, then they are not there. For whatever reasons, they come and go. And they come back again and they go away again. It just works like that. And they never stay the same. So as you are observing, you see also that there is change going on. This is all due to the fact that they are subject to time. Time means what? Something is born, something goes, and exists in between. So it has an existence in between, but it's born and it goes, and it comes and it goes. So this means what? Objects, though they seem to be very real and they seem to be so related, They are not really, since they don't last. We're going to be seeing more about this too as we get into session 3, which has to do with the nature of the world. But just so you understand this piece for now,